Hello, me again. Today, a review of my STL Purple Clay Tenor from stlocarina.com. This is a 12-hole ocarina. You do see the 10 holes on top as well as the 2 thumb holes. Before I go on, I'm going to just take the time to show you this. This is my new USB condenser microphone. Should vastly improve the quality of sound in my videos. It is a condenser microphone. You don't hear me nearly as well there as you do there. Basically, the way condenser microphones work, they pick up a small sphere in front of them. Scale. The first thing I would talk about essentially is the tone. Now, the tone of this, similar to the STL that I had reviewed previously, these 4 notes here, some of the lower notes on the ocarina are very good. The tone is different, though, in the sense that, A, it's more centered. I actually found that the Zelda tenor from STL, possibly because of the difference in material, had a little bit more of a reverb effect to it. It had a kind of a more resonant tone to it. This, on the other hand, is more centered. And it's more balanced as well, in the sense that it's not as sensitive. Like, if small variations in breath pressure aren't going to push the tone, or the pitch out of tune as they would as much on the other one. However, having said that, you can still pitch bend with this very well. You still have some flexibility there, and I think that's important because STL marketed this as a professional quality ocarina, and, well, you would expect a professional ocarina to give you that kind of flexibility. The other side of it is, in terms of continuing with the tone, is the high notes up here. Now, most ocarinas, I find, anyway, clay ocarinas, once you get lifting off the thumbs and then the pinky, that's where it's really a slap in the face, and that's where you get your air. This one's a little bit more progressive, all the way down here, and then lifting off, and then through the thumbs and the pinky. There's some airiness there as well. It's a little bit more progressive. Of course, this is the style of ocarina that you blow harder as you're going up through the range, but even so, even if you're at the highest notes and you're blowing it in tune, there's still going to be an air. And for those of you who would argue the acute bend, maybe I just have no luck with it at all. I'm going to play an E6, so just the pinky. Frankly, I don't hear any difference myself. In any event, the tuning. Okay, now if you go up all the way up through the major scale, it is very good. Subholes not taken into account, this is very much in tune. If you get to the subholes, and of course we are, similar to the other STL, I have an objection. This right here, this is your tonic, no subholes covered, it plays a C. If you slide here and cover the first subhole, that is a B, and it's supposed to be a B, and it does play a B, and it is in tune. It's when you do this, when you roll onto that final subhole. Now, STL announced this as being an ocarina from a range of A4 to F6. I will argue that to the death. You can get an A4 out of this, I will be blown away. All of the holes covered with the subholes, as you would argue. The most I was able to get out of that right there was a sharp B flat. And when I mean sharp, I mean 40 cents sharp. And any quality musician with even a remotely decent ear will tell you that 40 cents is noticeable, and it will generally be pretty unacceptable if you're playing that sharp compared to everyone else. And I should also point out that's blowing pretty conservatively. If you blow just a little bit too hard, you're going to be pushing that into a flat B as opposed to a B flat. So be aware of that. The sensitivity when you're covering all the holes is a little bit more than it is just through the regular major scale. Also, this is made of purple clay. That is the actual material it's made out of. STL claimed that over time that the ocarina itself, the material, will start to absorb moisture, and when that happens, it's supposed to essentially improve the tone. And if that happens, especially in the high ranges on this one, I'll be jumping on my desk. Because it will be a phenomenally good ocarina, like I said, apart from the fact that the high notes are just a little airy now is the only thing stopping this from being a very good ocarina, and the subhole, but I've come to expect that from STL, basically. Yeah, song. You know, just the market theme from Ocarina of Time, or an extract of it anyway, just to give you an idea. Now, of course, to be fair, and this is going to be an accurate review, it does have to go up into the high ranges as well. That one doesn't so much. So, I wasn't able to come up with anything that pushes it to the high ranges consistently, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to improv some notes up there for you. So anyway, you hear that airiness up there. Again, if the purple clay thing tends to be true, if the moisture helps it, if that helps the high notes, this will be really nice. In terms of what you get with it, well, this is what I got with it anyway. Getting a package, I got 3 songbooks, volumes 1, 2, and 3 of folk songs for Ocarina. Inside, it's more of the same of what you found in the Zelda songbook that I had shown. It is that numerical tab system. You can go back to that video if you want a little bit more of an explanation on it. Again, my criticism stands. I find it a little hard to read on the fly. If some of you can do it, fantastic. I can't. In terms of the little book that they send you this little booklet. It has some exercises on the tab system, as well as an incomplete key chart. When I say incomplete, down here you have your F6, no holes covered whatsoever. Up here, however, the lowest they go is the tonic. Basically all the holes covered minus the subholes. So anything below the tonic is not presented here, but I assure you it's not hard to figure out. Also, it comes with this. Most of them come with some kind of a carrying case. This comes with a box, a paper box. Has a little magnetic flap there, you know. Inside you have, well, either polyester or some kind of really thin vinyl. See there? Just sort of set the ocarina in the indentation. Oh, some of you are going to hate me for this, but hear that? That's the ocarina bouncing around inside of the case. Which brings me to the point that this is not a carrying case, that is a presentation case. And I'm not even sure about that, and I'll tell you why. This is probably, in terms of how sleek and stylish it is, probably one of the best looking ocarinas I've ever seen. Why would you want to put it in a case? I mean, yeah, it'll protect it if you're just going to have it on a desk and not move it, but I mean, if you're going to do that, I'd just as soon have it out. Having said that, though, it is still a nice touch. Anyway, that concludes this. If you have any commentary or questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm very receptive and always wanting to hear back. So, yeah, thank you.